So I attended this networking event today for women entrepreneurs, and there's something about meeting people and making connections that I just really love. I really, really like meeting with people. And then there's some parts about it that I hate, and they make me all really nervous. And the biggest problem that I have in these kinds of situations is the dreaded "what do you do" question. And I've heard people answer this question really smoothly, and they just roll something off their tongue that they have clearly honed and refined. And sometimes it's absolutely uninteresting, and sometimes it's actually quite interesting. It makes you want to know more. But the place that I am in my business right now, I don't feel that I have that really sorted or really clear. And I do need to talk about what I do and get that really clear. But because it's not super clear, and I don't feel that I have that 10-second spiel about what I do, anytime someone asks me that, I go into a minor panic, and I'm like, and then stupid stuff starts coming out of my mouth, and I feel so ridiculous. And I wish that we wouldn't have to ask each other, what do you do in these kinds of events? And I heard somebody talk about this recently, and I thought his talk was brilliant. And he was coming at it from a very good angle about making connections. The thing I think that bothers me about that "what do you do" question is that a big part of the reason that I decided to become an entrepreneur and have my own business in the first place was because I wanted to have the ability to decide and to have freedom and choice around my own value and my own worth and my own pay. And I didn't want a job title or a paycheck to define me and say, well, this is what you're worth. You get this amount of money, and that's what you're worth. And that just seems so restrictive to me, and I just don't like that concept at all. But then you go to these entrepreneur events, and everybody asks everybody else, what do you do? And I'd like to just, ban that from entrepreneur vocabulary. It would certainly help me not to be so stressed out about these kinds of events. But I've been experimenting asking different kinds of questions, mostly because I don't like to be asked, what do you do? And I started asking some questions, and it's been interesting to see the kind of responses that people get. And, I don't think they're expecting those kinds of questions, so hopefully they'll remember me, and that'll be a good thing. But questions like, what is the difference that you're here to make in the world? Or if you could travel anywhere right now in the world, where would you go and why? Or what do you do for fun? What really lights you up that you enjoy doing when you're not working? And I think these kinds of questions actually provide information about who we are, because what we do is such a small portion of who we are. At least for me it is. And I've got this whole complex woman thing going on here, and there's a lot going on, much more than just what I do. So I'd love to get better at asking those kinds of questions. And I think that the connections that you make when you ask different kinds of questions are much more real. And I think that the "what do you do" question comes from, either a place that you just don't know anything else to say, or you're nervous, which I typically am nervous when I'm first meeting someone, or it's just we're letting those mindsets and those self-worth and value messages that have been passed down for generations continue to influence us, even though we are entrepreneurs. So that's my little rant for the day. Now I'm going to go take off my contacts and my heels and relax.